Texans victory versus the Buffalo Bills. Let's talk about it. Yeah. What up, y'all? This is the Bull Run Sports podcast channel, man. This is our sober recap, our morning recap after the craziness that went on during the game, after our live stream. This is what we call our quote-unquote sober recap. But to be honest with you, I'm a combination of drunk, like sleepy, hungover. I still feel like I'm riding a high from the game, bro. We shoot these the same night following the game. This day has just been a complete blur, bro. I don't know how you feel no more.
I'm in the same boat. I have a throat lozenge in. I have a tea brewing because I have no voice. My voice is toast from yelling and hollering.
Absolutely.
I was completely, I texted you like an hour after you left. I was completely exhausted. Like after coming down from the adrenaline and just the hype and everything, I was exhausted, bro. Like I felt like I had ran a marathon.
I felt like I played.
Yeah, exactly. So just what an absolute game that ended up being, coming down to the final kick to it had to be a walk-off. Kaimi Fairbairn ended up kicking in the field goal to get us the win in regulation, and then also in doing so, actually I think it was the kick before, became the Houston Texans number one scorer. Like he got the record for the highest score for the franchise. I think it was.
I thought he had been the highest scoring player in franchise history, but I mean, this just solidifies him being the GOAT, right? He just continues to put up points and crucial points, man. None bigger than this walk off, bro. Shout out to Kaimi. If he didn't take away the game ball, I mean, I don't know who would have, right?
Yeah.
Such a clutch performance, man. Walk off by him. It was just awesome, bro. Like I say,
59 yards to win the game, bro. That's
59.
That's crazy.
59 yards. Look, we ain't gonna be negative. And look, I know, I get it. I understand. Hey, I was very pessimistic going into this game. And I will say, Omar, I said during the live stream, bro, my pessimism came from the fact that we were averaging 11 to 12 penalties a game, just one of the sloppiest teams in the NFL. My analogy that I made, which I still stand by, is it's like talking to an alcoholic family member that's trying to convince you, oh yeah, man, hey, I'm gonna clean up my life. I'm gonna do what's right in order to get my shit together. Wow, he's sitting there drinking a fifth of vodka, telling you this. It's like you're not expecting for that to happen. You don't expect the turnaround to happen so fast.
Exactly.
We barely won a game against the Jaguars, which we should have blew them out, the worst team in NFL, and we squeaked out that victory. Obviously, it's not just me saying it, right? The players were like, nah, this ain't it. We got to clean this up. They weren't hyped after that Jacksonville win.
Nope.
Nobody wanted to celebrate that because they knew they were playing bad. So it's like seeing all of that, knowing how undisciplined we were, that was the cause for my pessimism, like feeling like, look, we not gonna beat a Buffalo team coming in here playing well. If we continue to play the sloppy play that we've been playing, man. And look, I will gladly admit I was wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. All right. We got this win. It was still an ugly win, but it was against a good team.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely it was a nail biter all the way. We managed to, I'm trying to pull up the stats here, but we managed to really put together what has been touted as like the best half of football that we have played this season, which was the first half of
100%.
this game.
100%.
And it was starting to look like we were going to walk away with this, like completely just walk away with it. I mean, we went into the half, I think it was 20-3 at the half,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
And getting the
Uh,
ball back, coming out the half, with the
exactly.
ball.
Yeah, and so, you know, hey, halftime, I was in here setting up for the live stream. I was feeling real good about it. I was like, oh man, we got this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything was, you know. And then man, we just kind of fell into our old ways again in the third quarter. Kind of started having some really sloppy plays. We started kind of having, I think CJ wasn't able to really sit in the pocket and execute as much, couldn't get the run going really well. And we just kind of found a way to win. We kind of found a way to win this one. I mean, there was some bonehead stuff that happened in the fourth quarter. That,
Yeah.
that had both you and
We'll get
I
into that.
just completely trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Now that I'm looking at that, it was a combination of I get it and like just I don't know, man. It was a situation where I get what we were saying, which is like, hey man, we want to run this clock down. I think it was like 40 something seconds left. It's like we want to run this clock down. We want to go ahead and kick this field goal. I think it would have ended up being a 54-yarder. In order for if Kaimi would have, if we would have ran the ball, ran the clock down. Instead, we opted to kick. I mean, sorry, to throw the ball. And in doing so, if it would have just been a regular, like, incomplete pass, I mean, yeah, okay, the clock would have stopped, but we would have had fourth down, still within field goal range. It'd have been about 54-yarder. But the intentional grounding call was a weird call at that moment. I didn't necessarily.
It's a weird call that could have been avoided, Omar, by
No,
just
agreed.
playing logic. Look, we might as well just dive into it. Like I say, I don't want to be negative, but also it's the age old saying, you can't ignore in victory what you wouldn't in defeat, man.
Right.
This was and this is on the heels of the Colts game, right? Where they completely mismanaged that halftime situation, going into the locker room. Where I don't know what they're doing, trying to squeeze all the time out of these situations, throwing the ball when you're in field goal range, trying to get a few extra yards. Just play normal football, man. Football 101. Okay,
like they were trying to get too cute with it, like
way too cute, cute. Look, just run the ball. Look, it was 40 something seconds left in the game. You're in field goal range. Buffalo had no timeouts, Omar.
Nothing. Yes, that's okay. Yes, that's the kicker.
I mean, when you have a team with no timeouts and you're in field goal range, it's inexcusable for what they did. There's absolutely there's no explanation that I'm gonna hear this week, because I'm sure they're gonna be asked about it. I'm sure D'Amico's gonna be asked about it. I'm sure Slow gonna be asked about it. There's absolutely nothing that I'm gonna be able to hear that's gonna make it make sense to me. Nothing, bro. I mean, you gotta run the ball, get all of that time off the clock, kick that field goal, and win the game. That's it. Why do the Texans have to make things harder than they need to be?
Why do they? Yeah, why do they got to make my heart rate, make my Apple Watch think I'm running a freaking marathon? You know what I'm saying, bro? I think it was so shocking to us because they initially had lined up with a Goombawale in the backfield.
Yeah.
And then CJ puts him in motion and sends him out to the right next to the receivers. And you and I immediately looked at each other. We're like, what are we doing?
What
here?
are they? Yeah,
what is
I was
happening
having a panic attack, bro. Like, why are you empty in the backfield? What are you doing? You don't throw the ball in this situation. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, it just, I don't know. It look, there's a little bit of luck, to this game as well. I think there was a couple of times where, right off the bat, I think maybe the first, if not the second play of the game, Josh misses a wide open wide. I mean, just very like, not like Josh to miss a pass like that.
Yeah.
Number 13 with the poofy hair, I forget his name.
Mac Hollins, I believe. If I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
there you go. Ends up cooking Lassiter.
It was Kalen Bullock. It was Kalen Bullock.
Bullock? It was Bullock.
Yeah, he got to the secondary rookie, right? Still,
yeah, of course.
It didn't
Bites
look good.
and then overthrows him by like 2 or 3 yards. Like,
So look, the question has become, because we talked about this in our live stream, bro, and a lot of people have been bringing up, look, you know, it's our pressure, because our thing was, and we talked about it all leading up to the game. We were like, man, Josh Allen is not going to miss these throws like the
right,
Anthony Richardsons of the world, like
right,
the Trevor Lawrences of the world. They missed wide open receivers. All right. They
right.
sailed it over their head. And we were like, man, once we play a formidable quarterback, they're going to hit these throws and they're going to beat us. All right. But the question kept coming up consistently in the live stream. You know, people want to know, are they missing these throws because of the pressure that we're putting on the quarterback? You know, and even in the telecast, they were saying Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, they're not putting up the sexy like stat numbers
Right.
and all this kind of stuff, but they are getting pressure, you know. So
Mhm.
I'll beg the question to you, bro, because I have my feelings about it. But what do you think? Do you think that it is the pressure that are causing these quarterbacks to miss these wide open? Because look, on that Josh Allen throw,
Right.
we said it during when it missed, when it sailed, when it went long, we said this could potentially be the play of the game right here. You
Yes.
know, it's early in the game, but this could potentially be something that we're talking about later on as a
Yes.
huge miss, Do you think that is the Texans' pressure that's causing these quarterbacks to miss these throws?
So I think the answer is in the, it's in the evidence, right? You know, we had these situations with, essentially quarterbacks. You know, Anthony Richardson, we all know, not a accurate quarterback, is probably going to be, probably could kill you better in his rushing yards than his passing yards.
Yeah,
And obviously Caleb Bullock was not Caleb Bullock, Caleb Williams was just green
what?
as a blade of grass. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
kid's out there running for his life. Of course, he's not going to be accurate.
right.
And then we come to Sam Darnold, who absolutely smoked us, and
Yep.
then obviously Trevor Lawrence, who's dog shit wrapped in cat shit, right? And so then we come to what is supposed to be a formidable quarterback playing at an elite level. Same situation as us, 4-1 coming into this, or now 4-1. We're 3-1 coming into this,
Yeah.
and so we have finally a quarterback that you and I, at least, maybe the Texans defense knew what was happening. They're like, yeah, we ain't worried about Josh Allen throwing these dimes because we're going to get in his face. But the exact same thing ends up happening, and you and I are kind of looking at each other, and you're like, why does this keep happening? And I think we have our answer, man, because I honestly do believe, looking back, when the announcer said it, he said, Danielle Hunter is not getting these sexy stats anymore, where it's like
Yeah.
the sacks and the strip sacks and the fumbles and all these other things that make these defensive ends get these big Pro Bowl accolades and the shine and all the sexy stuff. But he is absolutely causing a ruckus in that pocket, to the point
Yeah.
to where these quarterbacks are no longer comfortable with just sitting there and throwing lasers, right? Like, you
Yeah.
and I both know, if you're not a CJ Stroud, or if you're not these types of a Mahomes or somebody like that can throw these there's very few guys that can throw lasers like that on the run and be accurate in the league.
Yeah.
Most of these guys, like a Josh Allen, they have to be stuck in the pocket. They have to have their feet planted, and they have to be able to lean into it and throw that ball accurately in order to do that. And when
Yeah.
you got guys in your face like that, it doesn't
Yeah. It's
work.
tough. It's tough. Yeah, Josh. I mean, to give Josh Allen credit, man, he's come a long way from when he
For sure.
initially came into the league. You know, when he's on the run, he's a dangerous runner. You know,
For
I
sure.
wouldn't say he's CJ Stroud is just. I think we're spoiled watching CJ Stroud, right? Like,
Absolutely.
he's
Agreed.
able to throw some of the most accurate passes I've ever seen
Agreed.
in a full sprint. It's
Right.
nuts. It's absolutely ridiculous. But to your point, that's not normal. You know,
No, it's
any
not.
other quarterback in the league is not throwing pinpoint accurate passes while they're
When he's running for
scrambling,
his
while they're
life.
doing that thing. You know, Josh Allen got a different skill set. You know, and that
Right.
he's just par for the course, right? When
Right.
you do apply pressure in that way. So look, like you say, the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
These throws are consistently being inaccurate, because of the pressure. Yeah,
Because of the pressure.
I can't deny numbers. I can't deny my eyeballs. What my
Right.
eyeballs are seeing
Exactly.
consistently. No matter who the quarterback is, except Sam Darnold, I guess, bro, because he just ate against us, bro. But
I said it during the live stream. I'm starting to feel less and less bad about that loss to the Vikings because the Vikings are on a freaking tear, man.
they're doing
I
their
mean, they're
thing, man.
5-0.
Yeah,
They're absolutely on a roll right now. I mean, they're flying high. Sam Darnold, like I said, came out of nowhere,
yeah,
seemingly, to lead these guys. And I mean, okay, granted, he's got what we would argue as the number one, number two, because we still argue that our boy Nico's number one receiver in the NFL after that amazing, damn near 70-yard catch after he cooked a double coverage.
yeah.
And CJ put it right in the breadbasket in full stride with a blown hammy and still went in
Yeah.
and hit the touch. I mean, just you and I
Yeah,
were
I
you
think
and I
the
you mentioned
debate.
it during the live stream that we've been kind of being conservative with our with our our idea of what Nico is exactly. We knew he was our number one.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Then we said, okay, he might be top 5 wide receivers in the league. And then I think today we just finally said, you know what? He is the best receiver in the league. And even CJ said it today in his post game conference.
Numbers don't lie, Omar. Just like I'm
Numbers don't
admitting that, yeah, we getting the pressure that's causing these overthrows. Numbers don't lie. The brother's on pace to break 2,000 yards receiving in a single season. I mean, that's insanity, bro. He has to be the number one receiver in the league. It's just you can't deny it. And on a team where you have two other great
Yes.
wide receivers. I mean, you got Stephon Diggs, who's going to walk into the Hall of Fame. You got Tank Dell, who's great, and Nico Collins is just out. He's just the man, bro. He's the go-to
Yeah.
guy, Mr. Reliable.
Yep.
Obviously, we missed him in the second half. This is
Oh,
a big
definitely
talking
missed him in
point,
a
man.
second.
We gonna be all over it during the week, guys. Here on the Bull Run Sports podcast channel, man. Keep it locked here, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Y'all want to keep it locked, man. One-stop shop for all your news, information, and entertainment. And Omar was showing a lot of balls and shaft on the live stream, man. So we give it all, man.
Yeah,
Ladies,
just a little
get
bit.
something out of it. It was nice.
Just a little preview for the other channel if y'all guys want to subscribe to that.
Facts, man. So you get it all. You get it all here, bro. You one-stop shop. You don't need OnlyFans, nothing. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Subscribe button is absolutely free. Uh So keep it
Nico
like
Collins, bro. Look at this:
gonna,
two catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
hey, he had a day very limited, right? Like
Exactly.
fantasy owners still ate. People came out happy. They're like, damn, all right, cool. Like you got a little bit before you went out. Nico, we need Nico, bro. I
We
know
absolutely need
we got a
Nico.
game coming up against New England, who we look at and say, all right, like we're gonna have easy pickings against them. Hopefully Joe Mixon comes back. He's been on a weird trajectory, comes back to practice against before the Jags game. We thinking he might play against them. He doesn't, misses the whole week of practice. It's like, it's weird. Damian Pierce, I don't know what's going on with him. Titus Howard, who, look, I don't think we missed him. He was out. Jimmy Ward is as reliable of getting hurt as Laramie Tunsil is to false starting. Jimmy's just gonna get hurt. That's what Jimmy does. So he may not be out there, but hopefully we get Christian Harris back practicing. Man, he'll be on a good trajectory to come back. And then, dude, if we get, well, he's not injured, but once we get Danico Autry back after next week's game, that's going to help us apply even more pressure. Then we may start seeing some of
those sack numbers go up.
Yes, absolutely, man. So look, man, we doing our thing. We won that. We gutted out that win, man, with some big injuries going on, man. Ugly win. And the D'Amico hates that. Saying an ugly win, but we gutted this one out, Omar.
We did.
When a guy like Nico Collins goes out, obviously, bro, like the game script is built around him and how reliable he is. So having to change that up and switch it up in real time, and get other people involved. Like I say, even though we got great receivers, great depth, it still was not part of the game plan. So
once again, man, shout out to us for being very specific about talking about our second and third string players at the beginning of the year that we got so much crap and flack for from our viewers and listeners. Everybody's like, "What are y'all talking about? Second string and third string?" This is why, goddamn it!
And if you've been rocking with us,
important.
If you've been rocking with us, then you know all the information that we were saying, about our guys. You weren't surprised to see Xavier Hutchinson out there, making key blocks, doing things, getting these key plays. You weren't surprised at Dare Agumbawale's play. It wasn't shocking to you. You weren't like, oh, who is this guy? You were like, oh, this is the motherfucker that they've been talking about all offseason. They've been hype about this guy. Weren't surprised that Cam Akers walking in a easy touchdown, but.
Yeah, this is why Tornado Akers was.
Yeah, this is why we did that. This is why we put in the work, man. In the offseason. You're absolutely right, Omar. Shout out to us.
Yeah,
shout out to us. Ain't nothing wrong with patting yourself on
the back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dare Agumbawale once again. And look, shout out to our listeners. I think it was, I can't remember who it was. I remember if it was Philly or if it was who was it?
Ram, maybe.
I think it might have been Ram. Oh yeah, it was Ram. Shout out to Ram on our live stream. See, you guys know me. I've been hype about Agumbawale since the preseason. Ever since I saw that monster take that first run and knock over like 3 guys, get a 15-yarder in the preseason. I was like, oh my God, this guy can run. And I was very happy to see him make the squad. I knew that he was going to be a very situational back, as we mentioned before, third down. As Nico went out, Mixon went out, and as we also lost Pierce, I thought, okay, we're gonna see some more. It's gonna be the Cam Akers Agumbawale show.
Yeah.
And today was really the Agumbawale Akers show, is what it looked like. And I was really excited to see that. I felt like he did pretty good. He did have that very crucial drop at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, which probably could have sent this thing just we could have locked it down there. That could have been a nail in the coffin situation.
We would have had an easier path, man, because in the very next play, CJ trying to make something happen, fumbled it.
Exactly.
In Bill's territory. Josh Allen miraculously came back from
some kind of the concussion protocol tent.
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
He has a concussion. He's not going to play next game.
I saw that replay on YouTube just a few minutes ago. Buddy hits the ground. His head slams into the turf. And as that happens, the momentum of his body is flips him over and carries him forward. His hands are just like, I mean, his hands are by his side, completely knocked out. Concussed. I don't care what anybody says. He was out cold. He got his bell rung, as we used to say. And as we know now, we're not a bunch of Neanderthals, because now we know that getting your bell rung means you have a concussion, sir. You are not supposed to be in that game. You were supposed to be under concussion protocol. You should not play next week.
No.
Should not play next week.
They should get fined, bro, because it's crazy.
I agree.
He clearly had a concussion, man. You can't do that. They got those protocols in for a reason. And it's not just because we hating and we didn't want to see him come back out there and cause more pressure for us. It's like, look, he had a concussion. It fit the bill. Like, he was like, oh, no, bro. You got
so what happened is when that happened, they obviously had to help him up. And he's kind of, even when they helped him up, you could see he was kind of staggering a little bit.
Yeah.
So he gets back to the sidelines and he's like, nah, I'm good. I don't even need the tent. I don't need the tent. He goes and he sits down. They made a phone call and said, get his ass in that tent right now.
Yeah.
And so they do that. And, Trubinsky comes out and has one play. And then all of a sudden, Josh Allen miraculously brings his ass on the bench. But back to Agumbawale really quick. Ram said something that kind of pissed me off at first, but then I thought about it. Because I immediately after the game was over, you and I run up to the studio. We set up for the live stream. I didn't get an opportunity to look at the stats. And when Ram said, I don't like Agumbawale out there as our main back, he needs to stay our third down back.
Well, he was echoing what I was saying. He's
because you've been saying the same thing, bro, and I've been wanting to fight you. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's great in his third down back row. Phenomenal. He understands coverages. He understands the blocking scheme, and he's great, pass catching out of the backfield. Right. Phenomenal third down back. But what was the stats he had as a runner?
As a runner, 15 carries, 30 yards, only 2 yards per carry. That's not a good stat. That is a bad RB1 stat. As an RB1, you should not be doing that. That should not be. Now, Cam Akers,
he's not an RB1.
RB1. That's right. Cam Akers, 9 carries, 42 yards, is an average of 4.8 yards a carry and a touchdown. Now, one of the things that I had to realize today was that for as good as Ogunbowale is, he is better served as a third down back, or he needs to be on plays where there is a run pass option where he can catch the ball, because his catching stats, 6 catches, 58 yards.
Yeah.
So he's been phenomenal. And that is what won us the game against Jacksonville, was that run pass option where Ogunbowale caught the pass for the touchdown to win the game.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to come down from my Ogunbowale high, right? Because he did play a lot. He had a lot of touches.
Well, you shouldn't expect more out of him than what he's doing, right? He's playing his role perfectly. You should still be on that high, because obviously he's doing more than what he's asked to do, because he's filling in, as a backup while Mixon's out, while Pierce is out,
and he's not doing well doing it.
No, I would disagree.
But I mean, if you're asking him to be an RB1, he's not doing good as an RB1,
because he's not an RB1. Right. But filling in for that and playing his role as a fill-in, as a third down back, he's excelling. He's playing his role phenomenally, and coming in to serve as the backup. Hey, we're inking out wins with the brother. So I don't think you need to come down on him, man. He's doing his thing. I'm not coming
down on him. I guess I think, especially today with today's game and the amount of touches that he got and the amount that we heard his name being called because of the plays that he was doing and things like that, I was really hoping that I was just going to be able to use this game to be like, yeah, Dare needs to be RB2 or something like that. You know what I mean? I was hoping that this was going to help my campaign. You know what I mean?
You expect too much. Look, there's a reason why this brother is down on the depth chart the way where he is, right?
True.
You can't plug somebody in. You plug somebody in, and all of a sudden they put up Adrian Peterson stats. Well, then that tells you coaching fucked up. They didn't scout correctly, right? There's a reason why he's in the role that he is, and like I say, he's doing his thing. He played it perfectly, man. Shout out to him. CJ said in his press conference, brother got a baby on the way. Life is looking real good for him, man. And I'm so happy for him, man. I couldn't be happier.
Stroud, 28 for 38, 331 yards, a pick and a touchdown. Baller. Very uncharacteristic pick. I didn't like the way he threw that ball.
Yeah.
And then, dude, it wasn't less than maybe 3 plays before that. He throws that beautiful throw over the top of 2 or 3 linebackers and just drops it right in the hand. I believe it was Schultz, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he threw it in a pocket where only Schultz
right in the pocket.
It was great.
What a beautiful throw, man! What a beautiful throw. So yeah, that was very uncharacteristic of him to throw that.
Picks don't happen, man. It's part of the game, as long as he keeps his touchdown to pick ratio down, which he is. I mean, he's a phenomenal quarterback. It happens. Sometimes you're gonna get a ball away. I'm not upset with that one too much.
He did also have a very uncharacteristic fumble. He usually really good at protecting the ball. That one was a little bit fluky. I'm not necessarily blaming CJ for that one, because he was kind of on the run, and then I believe it was the defensive back that managed to jab his hand in there and get a little poke in there to
gotta give credit to the defense, man.
That ball away, and
it
is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not really too but again, phenomenal game from CJ. Stephon Diggs, 6 catches, 82 yards. Tank Dell, 4 catches, 38
yards. Wait. Let's talk about Steph for a second, man. Let's stay on Steph. Obviously, revenge game for Steph. Yep. I like what Steph said post game, man.
Okay, I didn't catch it. What was he on?
Well, the sentiment pretty much is that he was pretty much asked if he was hyped for this game, if he wanted the revenge game, if he wanted to get this win, if it was emotional for him. Right. He didn't back down. He didn't say the cliche answer like, "Oh no, man, just another game on the schedule, blah blah blah." Just any win. No, he was honest. He was
not
like,
Steph, man. Steph's too emotional. Of course I want to
win. Yeah, he said that. He was like, "I'm emotional." He kind of joked about it.
Yeah,
he wanted this game. He wanted. He was like, I didn't make so much of a big deal out of it during the week, but today For the game, he was like, yeah, I told my guys I want this game. I want to win this game.
Yeah.
So hey, shout out to that, bro. I like that. I like honesty, bro.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
don't sugarcoat shit. You know you want this game. You know it's
Right.
emotional for you. You know you want to go out there and stick it to your ex team.
Yeah.
Show your ex like, look, I'm with a badder bitch now.
I would-
It's that's fire. I like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
man.
No,
Sometimes we don't
I'm
need all that PC bullshit, man. Just be
Nah,
honest.
man.
Like, talk your talk, bro.
It's one of the things that, and again, we talked about this. If you've been rocking with us since the beginning, we've talked about this, right? We talked about Steph and how a lot of the problems that he had in Buffalo came from the fact that he is a very, very passionate man. He wears his emotions on his sleeves, on his designer sleeves, and that man says what he says and he feels what he feels, and he's going to let you know. The difference is whether or not you are confident and well positioned within your role on the team to accept what he's saying. Some people are, some people aren't, and that's okay. The problem is that some people see it as passion, some people see it as being a diva. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to make any correlation to what those people say, depending on I don't know, not color of their skin or something like that. Like I'm not going to make that distinction. That's not for me to make. That's for philosophers and bigger minds to make. But he is, there was no way in hell he did. I know for a fact that the day he got traded, he circled. It's like,
He said that.
He
said
he really?
He did. He said as soon as I got traded, he was like, I looked to see if we were playing Buffalo, and he said once he figured out that
What
we
the schedule
weren't playing him,
was?
he had it circled, man, and it was a big game for him. So, like I say, I love the honesty. I like that, bro. I mean, you got to come on. It's like we know all these guys are doing the same exact thing, but they give bullshit answers when they asked about it, and I like that stuff was honest.
Yeah,
Man.
so I mean, again, not the biggest game in terms of stats for Steph. However, very crucial third down picks. Catches from Steph to move the chains. Like I said, six catches, 82 yards, averaging about 14 yards a catch. Just a phenomenal game from Diggs. A very solid game from Diggs. Tank Dell is another one that popped up today. Some very crucial catches from Tank Dell. I was happy to see him show up. 4 catches, 38 yards. Dalton Schultz with some clutch catches down the road. I mean, Dalton was all but completely out of the game on the first half. We didn't really hear much from Schultz, and then he shows up in the fourth quarter.
Man.
Yeah, there is, dog. So many mouths to feed. 4 catches, 34 yards for Schultz. Hutchinson getting in the mix with 2 catches and 31 yards. Stover for a couple catches, and Cam Akers with a couple catches. So, bro, it was a total team effort today to get this win. We needed absolutely everybody firing on all cylinders. And the one thing that we have yet to talk about, and I absolutely would be remiss to not mention it, is the fact that our Laramie Tunsil didn't get a single flag thrown his way. I want to commend that brother for handling his business today.
Absolutely.
Taking care of business. CJ, I don't think got sacked at all. Actually, let me see. Let me make sure I'm saying that correctly.
I don't think he did either. Yeah, I think you're right.
He got sacked once.
And that may have been one of those running out of bounds type situations. I don't remember him. I don't remember him going down with the sack. But hey, clean game from the offensive line for the most part. The second half got started to get a little bit sloppy, but I mean that tells you the story that you need to know, man. Tunsil, they didn't call his number. So yeah, I mean that makes all the difference in the world, man. He didn't stifle any of our drives. And when we play clean like that, man, when he's doing what he's supposed to do, we're a great team. We can move the ball. We have number 7. Even if Nico Collins goes down, he knows where to get the ball to. As long as we play clean. And that's what we talked about during the first 4 games, right? It's like, hey, we cut down on the sloppy plays. It's not a personnel thing. It's not that we don't have the talent to match up against teams or we should be upset because we're barely beating the lesser teams. It's like, dude, it's just a discipline thing. If we get
Yes.
more discipline, we'll be better. And that's something that we can absolutely control internally. Some of these teams out here obviously are like, damn, man, if we just had one more piece, or if we just had a better quarterback, or if we just had this and this and that.
Right.
That's not the case for us. We have such an advantage that we got all the pieces, bro. We just need to clean up our act. And I'd rather be in that situation than anything else, man.
Can I be pessimistic for a second to that point? Because you said we got all the pieces. I would disagree. Because football is 3 elements, right? It's offense, it's defense, and it's special teams.
Oh, okay.
Our special teams today played like absolute dog shit, wrapped in cat shit, dipped in rat shit. Tommy Towns, I don't know what the hell he was doing today.
Well, hey, we got to give him credit. That last punt won us the game, essentially.
Okay, I'll give him that. But the 2 before that were like 20-yard punts. Like,
yeah.
What the hell?
The rest of his punts, I'm with you. Dog shit. Terrible. It makes me angry that we got rid of our last punter, who was really good, who had booming punts. I can't remember his name. Y'all shout out in the comments, man, if y'all can remember. Was it Cam Johnston? I believe he looked like Bill Burr. I really liked him. But you're absolutely right, bro. Townsend was terrible except for that very last punt when we needed it the most. He came up huge. He came up big. But I know what you get into as well. Robert Woods is dumb. Just a dumb, ignorant ass person. And also at the same time, I got to caveat that because without his return at the very end of the game, to put us in a position for CJ to make a short throw to Dare and get us in field goal range, we don't win the game. But fielding the ball at the 5-yard line, what are you doing, man?
That's Pop Warner shit.
Consistently doing it, bro.
Pop Warner shit, man. If you stand at the 10, if it goes over your head, you leave it alone, man. Yeah. I mean, I just what are we doing here, guys? You know what I mean? It's like, and it happened twice.
Yeah,
it happened twice, man.
We benched Steven Sims because obviously he's not understanding the field position and a punt returner's job. And then you get what we feel like is reliable Robert Woods in there, and he's making dumb mistakes. So look. Frank Ross, the special teams head coach.
I was just about to go there.
So you know what I'm talking about. He came out in a press conference like, man, y'all be taking it too easy on me, man. I need y'all to be tough on me. Well, bitch.
Well, get it together, motherfucker.
It's your time to
come on down.
Come on.
Come on down, buddy, because we got something for you today. Have a seat.
Yes, bro. You got some explaining to do, Lucy, because this shit is terrible.
Yeah. And I think more than anything, I mean, you mentioned it, right? It was a couple of flashes in the pan where they did some good things on the special team side, but also it's the inconsistency that can ultimately rob us, right? Pinning us inside the 5 is never a good thing. It puts CJ in a bad situation where we got to run the ball, and we don't have the strongest run game, right? We're without Mixon, we're without Pierce, right? Yeah. And you're asking Ogunbowale and Akers to do things that are extraordinary. And they're not extraordinary running backs, right? Unfortunately. I mean, unless, it's third down and then you're talking to Gumbawale. In that case, he's godsend. But you can't continue to do that to us. And then on top of that, like the previous game, the muff punt by Steven Sims that ultimately got him sat down. And you and I were wondering why the hell he still even has a roster spot.
Why does he have a roster spot at this point?
Yeah. And then, Tommy Townsend not really knowing whether or not he's going to boom a kick or whether he's going to, kick it, like as if he's, back in the day, a punt, pass, and kick competition. You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here, man? So just it was worth mentioning, man, because I think, those are part of the what we call dialing things in, right? I mean, we're talking about our special teams here, right? I mean, obviously there's things to talk about across the board, but the fact of the matter is that we won a game.
We won against a good team. A good team in our conference. Yep.
That we're gonna see at some point later on this year. Potentially in a matchup for the playoffs, maybe an early one, maybe a late one, could potentially be somebody that we might be fighting for the conference championship for.
Yeah, positioning matters, man. Exactly. Like I love the more we win, the less it matters, right? You know, like we
Right.
can't always be looking at the standings and everything like that. As long as we consistently winning and doing our job, that's what matters. You know, we continue to separate ourselves. The Colts lost today, which was great. Baltimore came back, beat Cincinnati. You know, they are continuing to on this downward spiral, man. You know, kind of being edged out. The Dolphins obviously struggling with the Tua situation. So I mean, these are teams that you know you figure we're going to be contenders at the end of the year. So as long as we continue to just win, and you know the other teams in our conference, especially in our division, lose, it's all good for us, man. So
100%. Yeah. So the Glitter Kitties did in fact take care of the ponies today. Let me see, who else do we got here?
let the division beat up on each other, man. Let the
Exactly,
Titans
bro.
suck.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, the Colts are much better with Joe Flacco than they are with Anthony Richardson. You know,
Hey,
that's a better team with Joe Flacco.
You and I were
Coaching
talking about that. I gotta imagine in that Colts Jaguars game there wasn't an ounce of defense that was played for Anthony for Flacco and for Sunshine to be putting up 37, 34 points each. Nobody was playing defense at all. I can't imagine that there was a lick of defense being played there. I'm trying to think, where did who did are the Titans on a bye this week?
They probably lose tomorrow. I mean, they'll probably play tomorrow. I don't know.
No, tomorrow's Chiefs Saints.
Oh well, yeah, they might be on a bye this week.
Tomorrow's Chiefs Saints. I think
Might
they
as,
are on a
might as
bye
well
this
be
week.
a loss, man. I don't, you know, they got some interesting decisions to make too because they look better with Mason Rudolph rather than Will Levis, you know. So hopefully these coaches, man, just decide to go with these guys. It's beneficial for us, man. You know, let us, like I say, let us continue to stack up wins, let them lose, let us separate ourselves and get to the promised land. But man, I think we did it, Omar.
I think so, brother.
Good win, good Texans win. Obviously, guys, y'all know where y'all at. Bull Run Sports Podcast channel, man. We appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button, subscribe button, check out our merch shop. Unfortunately, no one guessed the correct score to the game. No one predicted the correct score. Somebody came close. Somebody
came pretty close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody came pretty close, which is good. So here's what I propose. I propose that for next week, we do, because we have yet to hit a winner, and I think it's kind of tough to like get the exact score. So what I'd like to do is for next week, we do guess the score again. We're gonna do the same thing for the t-shirt giveaway. However, it's gonna be whoever comes closest but doesn't go over.
Like Price is Right style.
Like Price is Right. Yeah. So whoever comes closest but doesn't go over. So keep it locked right here. We're gonna drop our prediction video on Friday.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the video that you want to watch, and you want to comment your prediction. Make sure that you're subscribed. And whoever gets closest without going over or actually predicts the score, we're gonna send you a shirt of your choosing from the Bull Run Sports merch shop. And then keep it locked here either way, because we're gonna be following the Nico Collins situation. We're gonna be giving you guys updates and all that stuff
all week, man.
The next game. So
all week, man. All week we're gonna come to y'all hot and heavy, man. But all right, y'all.
We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all being here.
Love y'all. Peace.